In this video, we're going to take a look at a simple topic that confuses students sometimes. I've noticed over the years this is something that blocks students learning, so I wanted to make a special video about the topic. Now, the way it works in programming is things are assigned to a variable from right to left, not left to right. And this confuses people because, at least I believe, that when we were young, we learned to write out arithmetic equations like this. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Well, that is true, and this is a legitimate equation. However, later on, we learned that another way to write the same thing would be 9 is equal to 4 plus 5. And in computer technology, computer programming, this second way is the way things are written. So if I were to go through and create some variables, like a variable called x called with a value of 5, and a variable called y with a value of 10, and I did this, what would happen? Well, let's find out. I'll clear out this mess, and I'll go through and I'll say x is equal to 5, and y is equal to 10. And if I say x is equal to y and print that out, what will I get? Will it be that y has now been converted over to 5, or will it be that x has now been converted over to 10? When we run this, we'll see what happens. We'll see that x is converted over to 10. And the reason for that is, quite simply, the values for y, 10, were placed in the memory location of x. You can think of it this way. Whenever you make a computer program, what's happening behind the scenes is, like on the first line there, you declare a variable and the computer has to go through and kind of set things up. First of all, it may record the human-friendly name. Second of all, it might record the type of data. And third, it might record the, well, for right now, let's just say the value. And later on, I'll talk about this in a bit more detail. So the first line says, okay, I got a variable called x, and its type is it's got a number and doesn't have any decimal points, so it'll probably choose, Python will probably guess for me that it's an integer, and it guesses correctly. Python does this automatically. Other languages you get to choose. And then it sets its value, let's say, to 5. Next line, y. And it goes through and does the same thing. It says is an integer, and it sets its value to 10. Now, when it gets down to this next line, what it does is it takes the value of 10, so it looks up y, it finds that y is the value of 10, and it places it in x. So this now becomes 10. That's why when we print it out, you're seeing 10, because it's actually copied that value and put it in x. Very simple, but believe it or not, a lot of people struggle with it, and it's pretty common for people to be kind of confused. My guess is that because we learned it this way younger than we learned it the second way, is a stumbling block for people. I imagine it has to do with your culture, has to do with the location that you learned arithmetic at, and so on. But anyway, it's certainly worth just a few minutes of video time to tell you about it, and hopefully that will clear up any confusion that people have with this particular topic. Next up, let's talk about how and why data types are chosen in Python. See you then.